I think the core will be whether I face rejection. So, not to be shy, okay, I'll be very, very honest. I have faced a lot of rejection in my life. This is not just in terms of sales. This is of course in terms of my personal life, in terms of business. I would say that I failed many times before. Mostly in areas that I'm not very familiar with, and it still bothers me to a certain extent. As you guys know that I actually used to be doing decently or fairly well in certain industries, and I got a little bit overconfident, I would say, and I moved on to areas that were not within that experience that I had, and I lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of money, and over time, if you ask me whether I was upset or depressed at myself, yes, I was. Normal. We do feel that way, right? Moving on, what did I actually do? I actually told myself that if today I decide to stop, it means that I totally lost the war. If today I give up, or I allow myself to think that this particular problem or situation overpowers me, I would have probably lost. And I will remain a loser. Am I right to say so? But if I start working now, it doesn't matter whether I see certain changes or success, but it will come naturally. Maybe 6 months, 8 months. If today you're selling something that allows the person to earn money and there's no fixed market value in terms of how much money can be earned, your income skill set will be very, very high. And the reason why I mention this so much is because I learned this through the most depressing period of my life. I learned this through the time when I was broke, when I was struggling. I learned this through the times where I was not able to sleep and I was stuck in bed for 2 months. My mother was worried for me. My dad was thinking that I think 这拜戏了 already, this child no use already. And when I got over it, and some of the friends that I had come over and enlightened me and told me, and I'm very grateful for my best friends and all the friends that are around me, and they were very, very positive. They told me one thing, that look, you don't have to be worried about money. And I asked them why, and they said, look, if you could make this amount of money in a year, a month, why do you even care whether you have money now or not? Because you have a skill set, a high income skill set that is able to allow you to generate money, but even when you're at $0. What I'm trying to tell you is that to accumulate and understand this skill set requires many years. To be very frank, it took me close to a decade before I could really understand what it meant. It was very tough at the initial start. But as I keep doing it and practicing, and they say practice makes perfect, and it's true, because the first time I did it, I didn't really understand. Right? It's just like you riding a bicycle, and you don't start off with riding just a bicycle, right? You ride a tricycle, right? I think what I want to share with you guys today is that don't let fear consume you. Fear usually comes in the form of imagination. Imagination is not reality. Reality is what happens now, not what is in your head. It's very different. You guys have to understand this. Once you understand this, you will break a lot of boundaries. You'll be able to push yourself to achieving more. You'll be able to strive more. You'll be able to develop a very high income skill set that you don't have to be worried. Even if you fail, you say, 1 year later, I can make it back up. Having said that, this is the message of how and what I want to share based on my experience with being rejected and getting depressed over it, and how I actually overcome it. The most important is what I actually learned during the stage of depression after being rejected, and how did I manage to come out of it. I think that's the key. With everything being said, whatever that I learned through the worst time in my life, I attained one thing. And everything that I attained was through practical education, practical learning. It's by people who actually put the work to actually do it. It can't be learned from textbooks or things like that. So that's primarily one of the areas that I'm actually saying how I acquire or accumulate the knowledge in various industries.